Welcome back to y'all family. We are back with part three of the IP series, Getting Your Ideal to Market. In part one, we talked about how do I come up with an ideal so that I can come up with an invention from it and get a patent on it. Part two, we talked about getting feedback on your ideal and your possible invention from friends and family. We also talked about sketching out the invention so that you can go talk to investors or talk to manufacturers about the product. Part three, we're going to be talking about, is this ideal and or invention patentable? I want to back up just a little bit so that people understand what a patent is. A patent actually protects you, the owner, so that you can prevent or exclude others from manufacturing, selling, or making a product. It doesn't give you the right to do something. You can actually sell a product without having a patent. A patent actually allows you to prevent others. It's an exclusionary right, prevents others from actually making a product, from selling a product, and from using a product. I was interviewing someone who she has sold millions on her wrist water bottle, and she actually was interested in how she came up with the invention. She was out running in Texas, and she fainted. She was running in. It was very hot that day, and she wasn't able to have a water bottle with her just because I'm not sure if she didn't have pockets or she wasn't able to carry one. Hands was full, things like that, and she actually fell out. So when she awakened from being having passed out, she came up with an idea to say, "Hey, man, I'm a create an invention on a wrist water bottle so that even if you don't have any pockets in your running shorts or your hands are not free for whatever reason, maybe because you don't want to be running and carrying a water bottle at the same time, you can still stay hydrated while you're exercising, while you're running." And she came up with this ideal for a wrist water bottle, which she ultimately ended up getting a patent on. But when she came up initially with this ideal, she had to do some research to see if this was patentable. And she did some research on her end before actually going to an attorney or an agent in her case to see, okay, what was out there. So, and this is good from an attorney standpoint because we want to see that when you come to a patent attorney or you come to a patent agent, which also can help you get a patent on your idea, on your invention. We want to see that you have done a little bit of work yourself. You can use Google if you're in one of these four satellite regions. The main patent office is in Virginia, but you have one in Detroit, you have one in Texas, Dallas, Texas. You have one in Denver, Colorado, and then where is this third one? Colorado and Silicon Valley in California. If you are nearby one of those satellite regions, you can actually go to the patent office and do some searching on your own, which that database is 100 times better than Google. But Google is a good start to be able to put in some keyword search and see what's out there and see, does your patent exist or your invention exist? Because again, you're going to at some point, and I would recommend this for everybody, you're at some point going to go to a patent attorney or a patent agent and say, "Hey, I have this invention. I want to get a patent on it." And I'm going to tell you, or the agent is going to tell you, "Hey, let's do a search." And one of the best things that we can hear as your counsel or your prospective counsel to say, "Hey, I did some searching already, and this is what I came up with, and I don't see anything that's like what it is that I'm trying to do." That is music to our ears because it shows somebody who's serious and someone who has took an initiative with their invention and did some homework and just came prepared, honestly. And that way, as we are doing our supplemental search in that case, we have a good starting point because you have already done some searching. So we have a good starting point of where to search and where to begin our searching, which is going to keep the cost down, but it's also going to show us that, okay, this is somebody who it's that is worthwhile having them as a client, because as a startup company, as someone who's maybe a solo inventor, patent attorneys or patent agents, we're not necessarily looking to just bring on anybody as a client. I actually was got a call maybe 3 or 4 months ago and it was a mistake that I answered the call. I was actually waiting on a different call, so I answered this unknown number, which I rarely do or never do. And if someone was on the other line, like, "Hey, man, it was a young woman, or I won't say young woman, but it was a woman, and she said, 'Hey, I have this invention. I've been calling around to all the attorneys, patent attorneys, and no one has answered the phone call.'" I'm like, yeah, that's true because patent attorneys, we rarely answer cold calls. If it's not a referral or it's not a big company or a mid-sized company, we typically do not just answer cold calls of someone coming off the street. That's it's rare instances that that happens. But so I told her that, and she's like, "Yeah, I understand." And I was able to kind of give her some information that she was looking for to kind of be able to proceed with her invention. But again, I'm using that illustration or using that story to to make a point of patent attorneys rarely just take cold calls to try to from prospective clients, startup companies, small inventors. But you showing that you have your ducks in order, you have already done a search, you have some references to provide to the attorney. You're going to increase your chances of that attorney or that patent agent taking you on as a client. So again, is your product patentable? Do some research on your own. Use Google. Use one of the satellite offices. Use the headquarters in Virginia, in Alexandria, Virginia, if you're nearby. Use these different databases to do some research on your own and see is your invention that you have come to be at this point, is it protectable? Is it patentable? And then call an attorney or a patent attorney or a patent agent and say, hey, this is what I found. Can you help me out? Can we do maybe a supplemental search and for you to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down to kind of give me my chances of likelihood of success if we file a patent on it? Because again, a patent is very expensive from drafting the patent application all the way through prosecution for maybe just one application can be upwards of 10,000, maybe more than $10,000. So again, if you're coming to me as a startup, I understand that $10,000 is a lot of money. And the more information that you're able to provide me, the better search that I can do while keeping costs down for you so that I can give you a pretty good answer on your chances of success at getting a patent on this invention. Because again, you're going to spend around $10,000 for the for your patent application. So again, hopefully this was valuable. Uh, Go check out part one and part two. And I look forward to talking to you again in part three. All right, TEI family. Until next time.